Okay, so today I'm going to show you a pretty cool idea that I came up with to repurpose these miniature liquor bottles. Let's get to that. Okay, first off here we're going to take our soldering iron. Well, you might not want to use your soldering iron in this way, but mine is pretty shot anyway. So I just used it to pop a couple holes into this, and it also made it quite nice because it melts the plastic a little bit, and that way when we drop the LED that we're getting ready to show here, it seals it up quite nice, and then it dries into place. So it worked really well. And then we can go ahead and put our LED in there, and go ahead and when you're making the hole on these, just make sure that you're not making it too big so that the LED doesn't slide right through. I mean, that goes without saying, but yeah, I made that mistake on one of these before this. So just go ahead and make the hole and drop the LED in, and then the plastic will dry around it, just holding it nice and tightly into place. And you can see right there, we want the LED behind the label. That way when it turns on, it doesn't shine right in your eye, and it just beams off of the back of the label. We're also going to need some wires for this. I chose to go with the red and black. That way I can indicate what is power and ground. So for this, I made a loop and just attached the wire to the prong on the LED that corresponds whether it is power or ground, and then just soldered them into place. It is best to solder by heating up the object that you want to solder into place first, and then pressing the solder into that object. That way it melts and gets all into the connection. And just do that for all four prongs there and all four wires. And here's the last one. Then we're just going to take some hot glue, drop a bead onto one of the bottles. This will hold our bottles together. You can stack them perfectly side by side, but for me, I chose to go a little offset with them. That way it gave it like a natural feel when this thing's sitting up on my desk. Next, we're going to go ahead and twist together the light colors of wire. That way when one light turns on, the other light turns on as well. So go ahead and connect them and twist them into place. And I like to drop hot glue on everything, all solder points that I create, just so it doesn't break or you don't mess it up by moving it around and things like that. So then we're going to take our USB cable and strip the power and ground wires within them. And this is very important. We will need a resistor. I pulled this resistor off of a board that powered an LED, so I know that it has the perfect ohms for this. But you will want to make sure that your resistor corresponds with the LED that you're using, and then just solder it onto the power side of the connections here. I've seen people do it on the ground. I've always done it this way, and it works. It doesn't get too hot. It doesn't burn out the LEDs, so this is the way I'm going to show you. So then we just solder this to the power side of our USB cable as well. And now that we have the resistor into place, we're good to go ahead and connect the ground from the USB cable to the ground on the LEDs here. Thus creating a great circuit here. That way when we plug this thing in, it's not going to fry anything, it's not going to melt our hot glue. Let's go ahead and solder it into place and drop some hot glue all around every single wire, all over the resistor. I know it looks messy, but the end result is better this way. That way if it drops off of whatever you sit it on, or if it's pulled accidentally, it's not going to rip anything and damage the DIY project that you just created. So here we go. We have everything connected, and we have our cable coming out of the back, and we're good to go ahead and plug this thing in. And as we can see, we have power. So we have kind of a man's nightlight going on here. This is just a really cool project that I wanted to do. Let's go ahead and see it with the lights off. And that looks really awesome. It makes me wonder if I should have done this with like some Sky vodka bottles or something like that. It would have looked even cooler, but this is what I had. So it's just a very cool weekend DIY project, something like that. And here's another shot of that, and it's just really awesome. So hope you enjoyed, and go out and make your own.